Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to Shifting Lanes. My name is Hanson. Thank you so much for tuning in. And for this video, you find me sitting in the 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy all-wheel drive. And I want to share with you my likes and dislikes about this 5-seater SUV so that you have a better idea before you buy. And make sure you watch all the way till the end to hear my overall recommendations. And if you have not already, please hit that subscribe and notification buttons so that you can be notified anytime we make a new video. And on to the review. For 2021, Hyundai has given the Santa Fe a nicely improved interior and exterior. It also has a new powertrain and lots of great technology, all delivered in a really nice price. This Calligraphy all-wheel drive model starts at $42,250. So if you're interested in a nicely valued 5-seater midsize SUV, you're going to want to watch this. Let's start with the exterior first. For 2021, the Santa Fe has received a new fresh face. It looks a lot less boring compared to the 2020 version, and I think this one looks like an angry snake. You've got a very large grille opening, and it's flanked by these daytime running lights that look like the snake's eyes and fangs. The Hyundai design team did a really great job here integrating the headlights into the grille, making the grille look a lot bigger. And bigger grills seem to be the current automotive trend. And down below you'll find a large brushed aluminum finish, giving it a more luxurious flair, and that look continues around the side and the rear. Now you won't find much difference around the side and the rear compared to the 2020 model, except that with the Calligraphy trim you'll find some color matched panels below the brushed aluminum finish, again giving it that more luxury, less utilitarian look. And since this is the all-wheel drive model, this Santa Fe comes with 19-inch wheels. If you want the 20-inch wheels, you got to go for the front-wheel drive Calligraphy trim. Moving to the inside, this 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe looks a bit different than the 2020 model year because of this center console. Now this looks a bit more like the Palisade. This has the floating center console look, which is more ergonomic because all of these buttons are naturally placed where your hand will be. And another benefit to this design is that it'll give the driver that cocooned cockpit-like feel. It feels like the car is wrapped around you. Now, another benefit to this floating center console design is the available storage underneath. The storage area isn't so large, but you do have some USB and power connections down here. Up here you'll find the 10.25-inch touchscreen with navigation, and Hyundai has actually redone their user interface here, and I think it looks kind of neat. Their new home screen looks pretty simple. On the left-hand side you have your weather and media information, and on the right-hand side it actually shows you your navigation, and it's done in a subtle way that it sort of looks like a live wallpaper when you're driving. And when you switch over to your media, you'll find a tube amp style presentation. Pretty classy way of displaying radio information in my opinion. And to control your radio, all of those buttons are located up here so that it's more within easy reach. Just be aware that if you get the SE or the SEL trims, that you'll get an older panel and all of these buttons are placed up here. Now looking at the rest of the center console, there are a lot of buttons here, and yes, this reminds me of the Hyundai Palisade, so if you want to watch that review, please click the link up here. But right below the radio buttons, you'll find the dual zone automatic controls, and to the left here you find the transmission buttons, and to the right here you'll find the drive mode dial, which you could toggle between smart, comfort, sport, and snow. And since this is the all-wheel drive version, you also have a center locking differential, which you can engage so that you can get better traction. Now surrounding this drive mode dial, you have a bunch of other buttons like the auto start stop. You also have the auto brake hold, your heated steering wheel, your hill descent control, your parking sensors, and also this button that controls my most favorite feature of this Hyundai Santa Fe, which is the surround view monitor. So if you press that, it'll give you the feed from the front, rear, and side cameras to give you a 360-degree view. Very handy when you're just pulling into a parking spot. And then down here, you'll find your controls for your heated and ventilated seats. Moving further back, you'll find some cup holders and also a wireless Qi charger. Now, I don't like most wireless chargers because it's a little bit tricky because you just have to get the phone to sit just right so that it can engage the charging process. What I like about this wireless charger is that it has a spring-loaded door so that when you slot your phone in, it keeps it pressed against the charging pad so you always get a reliable connection. Now I have an iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is the largest iPhone they currently sell, and this also has a case around it, and this slots in really well. This is a great design. Now moving on to the instrument cluster, the limited and calligraphy models get this 12.3-inch fully digital cluster display, and it looks really good here. The best part of these digital instrument clusters is the fact that you can customize the look. And what I really like about this Santa Fe in general is that there's a lot of customization that you could find in here. But back to the digital cluster, since this calligraphy trim comes with a surround view monitor, anytime you use your blinkers, the cameras in the side view mirrors will turn on and you can find that live feed on your digital cluster. So your blind spot is pretty well covered here. Not only will there be icons on the side view mirrors, but you will also get a notification on your fully digital instrument cluster. And there's one more location, and that's the heads-up display. So there's plenty of impressive technology in here, but there's no wireless Apple CarPlay in the limited or the calligraphy trims. Now most new cars have those smartphone integration tools, but you still have to use a cable. Now wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are just now being introduced to more and more cars. And actually the SE and the SEL Santa Fe's have wireless Apple CarPlay, but for some odd reason, the top of the line fully loaded calligraphy model does not have it. And it's very confusing and kind of disappointing. Now moving to the second row, that upscale feel continues back here. I like how the outboard seats have seat heaters. There's also an auto up-down for the rear windows, and I like how there are built-in sunshades as well. And when you look up, the visibility is pretty good thanks to this panoramic sunroof. Passenger comfort in the second row is pretty good too. Legroom is spacious, and you'll find the same quilted Napa leather seats and door panels, and also the suede headliner giving you that nice luxurious feel. And finally, moving out back, the Santa Fe's cargo space is plentiful. The Santa Fe doesn't come with a third row, so in exchange, you get a fairly spacious hatch area. So enough about the interior of the Santa Fe. How does it drive? Now for your everyday commuting uses, this Santa Fe actually rides and handles pretty well given its size. And it's also pretty powerful. In the engine bay, there's a 2.5 liter turbocharged engine, and it's making 281 horsepower and 311 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 should be possible in 6 seconds. And this engine is all new for the Santa Fe, and what I like most about it is that it has both fuel injection methods. It has direct injection, which Hyundai has done for a long time, and now it also includes multi-point fuel injection, which has been around for a lot longer. The ingenuity comes in the merging of both technologies, so you basically get the best of both worlds. You get the extra power and efficiency at higher RPMs thanks to that direct injection, and you also get better low RPM performance thanks to the port injection. Additionally, you should have better engine reliability as well, because engines with just direct injection have been shown to have a lot of carbon buildup on their intake valves. And that's really because the fuel is injected directly in the combustion chamber, whereas port fuel injected engines, the fuel is injected outside of the combustion chamber, so it's able to wash the intake valves free from those carbon buildup so that you have better reliability and longevity in the engine. As for the transmission, this one's equipped with Hyundai's very own 8-speed wet dual clutch transmission. This is much better compared to their older 7-speed dry dual clutch transmission, which I personally have in my 2017 Hyundai Tucson. And I had a lot of low speed stuttering issues with that car. And with this one, it's been very smooth and the shifting performance is very quick. This quick shifting transmission should be the same one that they're putting into in the new Veloster N with DCT, their upcoming Elantra N, and also the Sonata N-Line that I just reviewed. And if you're interested in that, please click the link up here. So with the engine and the transmission, the mileage ends up being pretty good for a 4,000-pound SUV, and you should get 21 city, 28 highway, and 24 combined. The built-in safety and driving aids are also pretty neat and worth mentioning. They have what's called highway driving assist, and it's basically a set of sensors that gives the Santa Fe the ability to do adaptive cruise control and also keep within the lanes. Their lane keeping system is actually pretty good. It's called lane following assist, and that works by using the front view camera to detect the lane markers on the road, and it actually tracks the lanes pretty well rather than bouncing from one edge to another like how older lane keeping systems would behave. Now this is similar to Volvo's Pilot Assist or Nissan's ProPilot systems, but just like any other system that relies on sensors and cameras, it's not perfect. If the lane markers aren't there or aren't perfect, or if the sensors or the cameras get covered up, say by like rain, it's not going to work as well or maybe work at all. Now, I want to go back and discuss some of the neat features found in this car. They're not big features, but there's a lot of technology found in the Santa Fe, and they're really worth mentioning. For example, there's a feature called quiet mode, and that basically limits the speaker volume in the second row just in case you have some sleeping passengers. And on the flip side of that, there's also a feature called passenger talk, and that will basically amplify the driver's voice so they can hear you better. And then there's also a lot of neat customizations that you can do. For example, in the digital display, you can change the look of your gauges. You can also change the color of the ambient lighting. It's a small design touch, but it's just another way where you could subtly personalize your vehicle. And then there's also the favorites button, which I like a lot, and you can program that to things like the passenger talk or quiet mode. And you can also program your mode button on the steering wheel so you can change to Bluetooth audio or change to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Are any of these good enough reasons to get the Santa Fe? Not at all, but these are nice touches, and I really applaud the designers and engineers for thinking about the end user when they're putting these things in here. So in conclusion, do I recommend the Santa Fe? Yes, you get a lot of value for your money here. There's a lot of nice safety features, and you're also getting pretty decent power and also an all-wheel drive system. The materials, leathers, and the suede headliner really gives off an upscale feel. So if you're looking for the luxury feel and experience without the luxury price tag, the Santa Fe Calligraphy is a really good choice. Not having wireless CarPlay is a big letdown, however, and hopefully they'll fix that in the future. Well, there you have it. That's my review of the 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy all-wheel drive. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you so much for watching all the way till the end. And if you've learned something, please consider hitting that like, subscribe, and notification buttons so that you can be notified anytime we make a new video. I'll wrap it up right there. My name is Hanson. This is the new 2021 Hyundai Santa Fe. I'll see you next time.